All right. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening. Welcome to the poetry reading with fertile brains. I love you all to be here and please join us on every Sunday, 7 p.m. Yes. We'll begin with Kingsley Hutchinson, Lantern Carrier. He is a word reading a book, listening to him. But before that, let me take a line which is, I just found it a very beautiful line from Prashnopanishad. And this is something goes like this. When the mind is lost in the when the mind is lost in the light of self, I dreams no more. Still in the body, it is lost in the happiness. So that was something so beautiful. I think it would the line would be elaborated by none other than Lantern Carrier, who is a spiritual master himself. So please welcome Lantern Carrier.
Okay, thank you very much. Great, let me almost got rid of the spinning. Okay, poem one, I'm doing 3 poems. Eggshells mingle among the garden of flowers, creating a basket of garlands, magnificent in splendor. A pageantry of beauty like a canopy blankets the grove, its luminosity of colors, creating a luster in which the chicks and bunnies rest. Tulips blush open, flapping their wings in awe of this magnificent setting. O light, my light, your bluebells converse with the honeysuckle, unabashed by their nakedness in this sacred sanctuary. A charmed magnificence blankets the grove, kissing the ambience of this reverential moment. It is spring, and the snow-white eggs rejoice, heralding the victory of the one called Christ. Poem 2. The night is over, and my pain has ended. My web of entanglements has vanished like mist. Now brighter tomorrows are lit before me, and my ship sails with a mariner unconcerned, without turbulence and darkness to hinder my journey. My regrets dissolve with the sunset tides, and the power of sunrise erases my shadows. I see a tapestry of splendor before me, woven in the finest of magical robes, and I smile through the dawn in silence. My feet swirl inwardly with every step I take. My heart spins like a whirling dervish in the throes of ecstatic trance. You are the Alpha and Omega of my destiny, my sacred presence of supernal rhapsodies. Gone are my tunnel of sorrows, I see only your blissful delight. I was once completely empty, but you erased my darkness with your burning light, and I rejoice in the joy of your fullness. Whenever you kiss my soul's beauty, I hold on to that sweet space within, my heart more alive for the love that we share, the heavenly joy that you bring. Poem 3. Lost in sweet memories, I recall our encounters among sweet-scented meadows and soothing streams. My entire quest was only to blend in your resplendence, timeless and immortal. I imbibed the sweetness I once knew in my reverie and awakenings, my nights and my days. You have taken my shadows away, exist in the joyfulness I feel. Now morning sings arias of your beauty, even as daybreak shines on the cute rays in my spirit. Who says that adversities and sacrifices are in vain? Everything that brings you closer to me are priceless, and for the boon of thy sacred presence, I would bear them all again. Beneath the moonlit canopy of constellations, within the grove's tulips and pomegranate flowers, your luster whispers the resonance of a melody, soothing the profundity of my soul. I am the flute in your unfolding manuscript of an unspoken ballad. You are the silence in my lute and the breath that plays it, the source of my imaginings, the reality of my dreams. My longing blends into chords of bewitchments, only to soak in music of an enduring solitude. Our pact is complete, and I revel in its excellence. How different is this life today? My knees were once scarlet red with the entreaties of our encounters, my eyes so from the drops of myriad challenges. My palms endured dark nights of agony, beseeching your sweet gaze. Now we embrace as the wedded do, within flames of fiery passions. Slaves to a sacred holiness, you and I, loving each other for the rest of eternity. London Carey, thank you.
That is what I said. Listening to him is really like reading a book. So I agree with, I hope you all agree with me. So please give it up for Letter and Career. Coming up.
Thank you. Dhanyabad, Bhaiji. Dhanyabad.
So we have Alexandra, Meher, Janetta, Somdatta, but before that, we please welcome Ike Waltz. It's the first time on our open mic. Please welcome him. He's everywhere on the open mic, so he's a good poet. Please welcome Ike Waltz.
Well, it's early morning for me, so I haven't got up that early for a long time. Anyhow, I am a war child. Ukraine reminded me, woke memories. War is, war was, the date that I was born to be turned into a soldier, to serve one despicable night. War is what I saw, the misery I remember. War is what I see again. War is when words are worthless, imagination of the demonic obscene. War is when it takes a bomb to kill a child. War is when flowers burn and crushed churches fry. War is where devout politicians and their corporate cronies make a living of the calculated death. War is when tears masturbate in shock and awe, quarterbacking, seesaw, in display. War is when one man points the poker-faced nuclear finger of a righteous fist. War is the lateral damage where mothers receiving no medals, but it is the accepted norm. War is when you and I cannot kiss anymore, desires shuttered in the trenches like never before. War is when my brother tried to stop a tank with one hand. War is when we run but can't get away. War is when slaughterhouse history are whitewashed with hypocrisy. War is when killing machines obscure the sun, no children at play. War is when the dead grasp onto with patriotic crosses, choreographed in green fields. The countless are the losses. War is when names decay inside mass graves of the innocent, where nameless and numbers have a lot to say. War is when a whole generation changes into crafted killers, and that's okay. Photos of obedience on the mantelpiece, images of patriotism do not please. War is when David refuses to take a right, but begs for stones to defend the people on his side. War is when one deranged man controls the price of gas on my holy pump. And we pretend to care when lives are slaughtered in plain sight, crosses we accept, bear. War is when cheap propaganda poisons wisdom and the fake succeeds not to trust anyone anymore. War is an apocalyptical game, the cruelty of our sublime man-made gods we dare not to blame, or when God is putting one man on the spot to remind us that mankind exceed once again the guidance of our divine man-made God. War is what one God can start, but no God can stop in time. War is humanity insane. War is a human disease. War is when a poet weaponizes virtue, paper thin, the stinging words, hoping he may win. War was when bloody confrontations turn into boring war stories. War was when the man who comes through the door is not ready anymore. War was when the dead and the alive jubilate with Schiller and Beethoven. Alle Menschen werden Brüder. All men will emerge as brothers. But no more war remains in the gutter. And mankind finally has evolved and accept that alle Menschen sind Brüder, all men are brothers. Remember, war is. When I read this poem and you feel uncomfortable, and I really know you don't care. May God help the Ukraine. May God enlighten the USA. Thank you.
Wow, very timely poem that you presented. You presented a definition of war, maybe. That is a beautiful, I mean, very thought-provoking poem. So please give it up for Ike for presenting, coming up with a beautiful poem. And please do come, regularly, Ike. And next up, we have Til, Sylvia, and Kaz. Before that, Richard Spacek.
Thank you, my friends. Welcome. It's an honor to be among such fine-hearted poets. I have a few pieces. I hope they will amuse and perhaps give you reason to think. This first one is I know I speak to the choir. This is called Let's Ban Book Banning. Let's ban book bans. That's my plan. If they can't take it, if they can't stand all the hurt and all their treasures sand, if they can't do it, I say that's grand. First, they'll want to ban some book. Chances are they never looked. They heard someone who they respect be disparaging, so they neglect to do any study. Hey, it's their way. They don't care what some eggheads say. They have their path. Their mind is settled. They are made of sterner metal. They know what they like. And furthermore, don't you go asking questions if you know what for. They've made their mind up. It's all flash frozen. Ban the song, the book, the story they have chosen. Don't sneak it past some censor, darling. That act right now would be alarming. Ban the book, the song, the story. Who cares? Historically, it's been lauded for its glory. We're suspicious. That's our story. It's well respected by the scholars. All those arguments we've declared hollow. Beside, their opinions we just can't follow. After books, they'll ban ideas, and all their hidey-ho walls they just can't see. The whole subjects they'll declare banned, because it's really ideas that they can't stand. There's people out of favor. Who knows? It might just be your neighbor. They don't like the color of his pants. But then again, maybe it's him they cannot stand. He might be from Afghanistan or Iran or even Nigeria, some kind of prince. Say no more. They are incensed. Then talk will turn to some body part. Those intellectuals probably say it's art. For them, it's just a naughty body part displayed in some statue in a park. Drape it over in the dark. We'll never know where their next vehicles park. Censorship's an endless voyage for every closed-minded, closeted annoyage. I say ban the banners now. How about all that censorship? Let's not allow. And to all the would-be censors, this time I'll quote the Bart. Don't have a cow, man. It's just art. And now, a tribute to humanity, I call this my totem token. My totem token is not a flag. It will not upon the bloody ground get dragged. It will never fulfill some gruesome pledge or order some miscreant merrily off some pitiless stony edge. It will not upon the gridded sports grounds be paraded. It will never unto those vivid caste-driven spirits be supplicated. It will not spur the clash of classes, nor ever bring to their bruised feet the huddled masses. Above no battlefield will it wave, nor handsomely decorate sepulchre or grave. Mankind is my totem, despite how regularly the gruesome gods have smote 'em, or placed a bloody clot in one big pipe and smoke 'em, or boil them up until they're cherry red and ripe, all gloatin', or place them, chase them, dressed upon some golden plate, or ignoring countless disasters, cast their eyes to heaven and simply call it fate. These fragile, funny creatures, so nobly born, they're all too often by their twa-penny fellows spurn, burden, blanch, and scorn. But as for me, I log the ragtag clan, and thereby celebrate the noble race of man, ennobled by the lauded fiery Promethean spark, withstand in the dark every indefatigable and endless artful ways of love resolve, whether here in earth life or high in heaven above, heed the clarion call of love. I celebrate these resilient beings who, in a universe of inchoate chaos, somehow carve out fruitful meanings. To you, my brothers and sisters, to you.
Resilient beings, that is always, yeah. Richard, you always bring the light, and that is a kind of vibe and zing to the platform. So give it up for Richard, my dear friend. Moving on to our next poet. Our next poet is a well-known writer, and she had created a great name of herself. Her name is Meher Pestonji. Please welcome Meher Pestonji. Ma'am, please unmute your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I had not planned this, but after Ike's anti-war poem, I'm going to read an older poem of mine, also to do with Ukraine, and it's called Babies in Ukraine's Bunkers. Were we born only to die before we turn 5? Is the anguished cry of babies trembling in bunkers, eyes frozen in shock at homes crumbling in fires, at hands imploring help from broken brick piles, swirling smoke blackening blue that once was sky. Bombs, sirens, screams, silencing lullabies. Only devils deprive babies of smiles, gurgles, dreams. Such oppressors must die.
Indeed, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether I should continue in this vein or go back to what I had planned earlier. I'll do one more in this vein, which is from the COVID period. It's called Death in Numbers. Numbers numb, blinding us to faces, bodies, humans. 1,000 deaths shock without pain. A single death is mourned when it's a known person. Each number among thousands has a face, a family devastated by death. Every death creates mourners who won't forget why. They will refuse to be reduced to numbers. Their grief will bounce out of graves as ghosts deadlier than the virus to crush those who only think numbers. Now, this is a poem I thought was relevant since we in India are just waiting for our pre-monsoon, for our monsoon. This was the poem I had planned for today. It's called Pre-Monsoon Showers, and it's in a totally different vein. Pre-monsoon rain. Thirsty earth gulps early showers, sucking rain into dry bowels, releasing musky mud aromas to mingle with flower fragrances, a blend to challenge Dior. Heat retreats as aureole streaks gold against green, chirps, twitters, melodies, trees sway to rhythmic breeze, squirrels prance from branch to branch in nature's celebratory dance. Relieved of year-long dust, green brightens on leaves. Tiny baby mangoes lose tenuous grips on dangling twigs, leaving littered green dots on ground. Flowers droop raindrop weight, but a sole raindrop clings to leaf edge. Bird perch on twig sends it racing to merge with mud. Rain stops, skin awakes to crisp air on cheeks the morning after it rains. Thank you.
Brilliant, ma'am. Beautiful imagery that went into beautiful. Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for presenting your beautiful poems. And please give it up for Meher Peshtaji G. Yes, moving on to Janeta. So up next we have Alexandra, Jackie, yes, Bogdana. Before that, Janeta Johns. Zan Johns.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and am enjoying every single expression. Very powerful. I'm joining you from Colorado in the United States. I'm going to share a poem titled Twisting Toward Totality. Dare I go left or veer to the right? Do I look toward the sky or the ground? I'd rather go over instead of going under. I'd much rather smile than to frown. Should I stay in or should I go out? Must I remain silent or scream and shout? Shall I take a friend or travel alone? Inside my mind is where I'm most at home. Am I destined to win or will I lose? Sometimes I question the path I must choose. At times I feel tangled from head to toe. When my insides are knotted, the ideas flow. I'm like the twisted tree in fertile soil. My passion requires courage, devotion, and toil. When challenged, I easily bend and turn. Thriving and inspiring are my main concerns. My imperfect spirals are by design. These answers to life's woes are uniquely mine. This enigmatic stature secures my strength. It nourishes my imagination at notable length. I do not envy trees straight and tall. When crises approach, I'm not prone to fall. Foes dismiss me from their plan of attack. With loving expressions, I'm prepared to fight back. My wholeness exceeds what your eyes can see. I adapt to shifting demands brilliantly. Tightly clinging to my roots binds my spirit. Though all tied up, my gnarly knots have merit. I fearlessly yield to the higher power, absorbing light and energy by the hour. I rejoice at my capacity to endure life's storms. I am strong and mighty, not at all deformed. I'm like the twisted tree, twisting toward totality. That was The Twisted Tree. The second poem, would you like me to read the second poem now or later?
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, the second poem is called Our Dance, and it was written for my husband as an anniversary gift. Hello, my love. You had me at hello. The spark of your soul set my soul aglow. Our love's slow burn triggered my desire. The passion between us lit my heart's fire. This journey we're on has borne luscious fruit. Our harmonious dreams a steady pursuit. Now we dance a literary waltz, a two-step of sorts, poetically taught. This time around, I lead the dance. Please never let go of my inking hand. Let's enthrall viewers with our graceful moves. Let's charm the world with verses that soothe. Together, we are a charming pair. No room between us, plenty love to spare. When your heart pulsates, I feel its beat. When your mind wanders, my muse repeats. We became one in spirit and soul. A quarter century later, our lives are whole. Thank you for choosing to dance with me. God assures me that our best is yet to be. Thank you.
Wow, 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 Janetta, the good, beautiful poems. Wow, one is on resilient and empowering, and second was dedicated to you. I mean, your husband. That's so beautiful. Yeah, really.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Bogdana. Bogdana, where is Bogdana? Yes, so Bogdana, please.
I'm here. As you know, I have short poems, but I'm gonna say only one, and if you say one more, then we'll see. This one was called The Fire. An inner fire can be more stronger than a fire from outside, even though we can see it. We can't see it, we surely can feel it. If the firefighter stopped the fire coming from outside, who stops the inner fire? So that was the poem.
Inner fire, that's really beautiful, Bogdana. And please keep coming and, get back and to the normal life. And, you've been down with health issues. But anyways, that was a wonderful poem. So short but
Thank
sweet, yes. All right. Okay, up next is Lara Graver. Please welcome Lara Graver.
Thank you so much, Vasana. I'm glad I can join in. I'm not quite moved yet, but I'm getting there. I thought I have to see these people read a few poems. So I'll read a very short one and then another one appropriate for June. This is called When I Left. I keep leaving countries, but sometimes I come back. I took my children's teeth and 4 dictionaries because languages are useful. I took the memory of many photos, the moody sky, the names of my kin. There was no room for disappointments, but I worked in 2 donuts. My passport was moldy. I traded it for yours. I freed my laptop at the park, sold my phone at the corner. I added a pencil, a small notebook, and the word love. All else seemed superficial. Thank you very much. And the next one, you may know that I'm from Texas, and Juneteenth is coming up, June 19th, the day historically the slaves in Texas, I don't remember exactly the year of 60 something, were told they were free. They had already really been free, but then it was announced. So I wrote this about that, or related to that. It's called 1980 Juneteenth Rising. I'm walking down this hot street. I'm holding a baby walking down this hot street. I don't know why I'm doing this yet. I'm thinking I'm just doing my job. I'm a park leader, a skinny white girl on this second ever Juneteenth parade in Austin, Texas, celebrating the day the slaves heard they were free. I mean, I know why we're doing it. I work at a park, 2 parks. One, all the kids are Black, one is mixed race. But it hasn't really dawned that the heat of this march is not just the sweat of my arms, the sweat of this child who is Black. Not just our sweat sliding over each other, intermingling and dropping, sizzling on the brutal street as the drums come solemn behind us. It hasn't even dawned that the need of this child is not just that this child's mother is at work, not just that this child is a defenseless infant. As the drums come solemn, as the drums come solemn, come solemn. We are marching down this hot street, a gaggle of kids between 3 park leaders, all squinting into the sun, almost nobody watching from the sidelines, because this ain't Congress Avenue. This street is a backside to ugliness. Between the Villa Capri motel parking lot and the Lyndon Baines Johnson Presidential Library parking lot, on a street radiating heat, cooking us like stew. But we march on, this baby and I. We made it, sister, and you never complained. At 9 months, you knew. It's taken me 59 years. Today, I'm marching down this hot street. I'm marching down this hot street with you. Thank you.
That was really touching, and you're taking us to the memory lane. And yes, what would I say? But yes, thank you, Laura. Thank you, thank you for reminding us the history, and history should never be repeated. And that is what I would say. There should not be any discrimination between whites and Blacks, or whatever it is, color, or whatever it's caste, creed, religion, whatever. So humanity should thrive. So whatever, please welcome Alexandra. Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Thank you.
Laura, you don't sound Texan. You have a Texan drawl.
She has the finest Texas spirit, though.
Yeah. Okay. Line 16. Do they know the throbbing of my aura is shaped with storms and sunrises, raging Titan battles and cirrus waves, asking for exquisiteness in this microcosm that offers visionless nights, deluding shadowed consciousness, in this macrocosm that offers shimmering oceans, rippling golden primary rays, raising physical generations filled with high-spirited panentheism, protecting Year's expression of wedded earth and sky, each cycle directing us to higher spheres of transparent visibility, enduring olive trees blossoming out of granite, rebirths blossoming out of catastrophes. Do they know the pulsation of my well-being is shaped with suffering and prayers, cracked fates and miracles, asking for empowerment? In this microcosm that offers sacrifices steeped in bloodied laurels and stigmas, in this macrocosm that offers sanctified healing from etheric vitalizing currents, forming astric generations inside the antecedent Olympian womb, woven by an ancient rotating cosmic nucleus, contracting and dilating, attracting and repulsing, desynthesizing and resynthesizing, omnipotent force. Authentic cures awakening out of taxing disorders, vigor awakening out of feebleness. Do they know the resonance of my hymns is shaped with chimeras and truths, remodeled longings and wind chimes, asking for harmonization in this microcosm that offers nostalgic harps from lost treasures, in this macrocosm that offers 7 chord lyres tuned with Apollonian notes, reverberating noetic generations led by Orphic pioneers, by sacred sibyls, by Delphic ideals, in a perfect rhythm of dithyrambic solidarity, in a luminous maturation of our superior selves, supernal melodies spiraling out of clamorous dissension, eudaimonia spiraling out of melancholy. Do they know the euphoria of my triumphs is shaped with steel and devotion, Pyrrhic dances and ecstasies, asking for humanization? In this microcosm that offers unholy acts of hybris, in this macrocosm that offers honorable acts of praise, progressing numinous generations, sharing lightning sword intuition, bearers of prophecies with earthly duties, initiating merging poetry, science, philosophy, politics into one indivisible prototype of unrivaled integrity. Are it humans ascending out of rudimentary humans? Golden ages ascending out of barbarity? Do they know at all the pledge of our flights? Is shaped with chaoses and creations, perishable and imperishable psyche flares, asking for inextinguishable, omniscient eruptions. Thank you.
As always, it's such an experience, to be listening to you, and such an entrancing performance. That was, I would put it as, Alexandra, as always. Please give it up for Alexandra, my dear friends. Thank you, Alexandra. Next up, we have been joined by a new poet, but before calling her, I would like to go to our K.S. Sajib. K.S. Sajib from Bangladesh. K.S. Sajib.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, শুভ সন্ধ্যা। আমি বাংলাদেশ থেকে বলছি। এত সুন্দর অনুষ্ঠানে আয়োজন করার জন্য উপস্থাপককে অনেক ধন্যবাদ। হ্যালো প্রসন্ন দাদা, আমি যে কবিতাটি আবৃত্তি করব তার নাম হচ্ছে নিষ্ঠুর যোগিনী। লিখেছি আমি নিজ কায়ের সজিত। উপমায় কি বলবো তোমার নিষ্ঠুর যোগনী, আমায় করলে ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত ষড়যন্ত্রের শিকার করলে মন হিয়ার অজান্তেই, টেনে নেয়নি কাছে বলে মনে অভিযোগ, দেয়নি কোনো ফুলের মালা গলায় অভিসারের ঘরে। আমি তো চাইনি তোমার জোরে সঙ্গম, চেয়েছি অধিকারের অংশের সাথে ভালোবাসার চুপিসার অভিসার, মিলে মিশে হবে দুটি ভিন্ন মন একাকার। এমনই দিন রাত মানুষের জীবনের একবারই আসে, কেন নষ্ট করছো সেই যুগের ঘরের সময়টুকু? এসো হে ভেসে উঠে এসো কাছে, ভালোবাসা নিরন্তরে জয় ও জয়ী করতে, তাপসী রজনীতে তোমার আমার ঠিকানা খুঁজে পেতে সাহায্য চাই। সৃষ্টির উল্লাসে বিধাতার কাছে আমি তো চোখের জলে ভেঙে চলছি, ভেসে চলছি, ভেঙে ভেসে চলছি শীতলক্ষা টটিনির বুকে, ঢেউয়ের উপর দিয়ে। দুঃখের তালে তালে নদীর পানি যেমন প্রকৃতির মানুষের অবহেলা আর অবজ্ঞা সহ্য হচ্ছে না, সহ্য না করতে পেরে দিনে দিনে কালো পানিতে রূপান্তরিত হয়েছে। ঠিক তেমনি নারী তোমার নিষ্ঠুর অপেক্ষায় থেকে থেকে আমিও পলয় হারিয়ে গেছি স্মৃতির শহর থেকে দূরে, বহু দূরে সরে দেখিয়েছিলাম তোমার মনের গভীরে, আর একান্ত কাছে ডেকেছিলাম বুকের পাঁজরে, নদীর মতো ভালোবাসা উজানে দিকে ভাসি। এসো হে নিষ্ঠুর যোগনী। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ।
Beautiful, Chaos. Beautiful. Thank you for presenting your beautiful Bengali poem. I must say it is very powerful poem. Yeah, I would. Yeah, thank you, Chaos. Please welcome Dee Allen as a great open mic artist and a beautiful writer. And please welcome Dee Allen. Dee, you're on.
One poem for 3 minutes, as usual. I dedicate my portion of this open mic to one of our newcomers, Mrs. Sunita Johns. Her 2 poems were beautiful. I hope she comes back. Especially like the one where she mentions how she's so much like a tree. But anyways, this poem is called Pyre. The way back to secure begins with gathering dry logs, butane, and grill lantern. Build a pile of wood inside of a metal pit. Bathe the logs in butane. Touch of a grill lighter's wick starts the flaming birth of your perfect pyre. Once the pyre obtains size, strength, warmth, take an ink pen. Tear a sheet of paper into little scraps. Write down your fears upon each bare scrap. Cast your soul-chewing phobias into the pyre. They deserve to burn. Courage in facing the unknown stands as a viable replacement. And that poem is called Pyre, which now appears in Prasanna Kumar's new anthology for the fertile brains, whose name escapes me right now. From this mic to your ears, I'm Dee Allen. Thanks for listening.
Beautiful. Yes, we got your poem and it is there in it. And Pyre, beautiful. That was very, the do come often. Please welcome Domnic Williams. Sorry, I'm not, giving you an introduction of yours, but yes, we all know each other, so I'm just right away calling up the names. So Domnic.
Okay. Yeah, it's Domnic Windram.
Domnic Williams.
Windram.
Domnic, sorry, Domnic Windram. Sorry, I just misspelled it. Sorry.
There's another guy called Domnic Williams. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, Domnic Windram.
I've got two poems. The first one is called In This Dark Epoch. In this dark epoch, where communion is rare, we restless souls seek in vain the stillness of saints and the hallowed light of certain sanctuary. Between you and I lie solitary pathways that lead to nowhere in particular, alas. For the roaring world is too near, and pure pools of silence are disturbed by the constant distractions of hollow idols. Although it may be too late, we should form bonds like quiet birds on ruined walls and absorb nature's profound beauty. Forget time and place, just focus on the eternal design. The sordid details of this existence can still be transcended by love's immaculate visions.
That's all?
Yeah, I've got another one.
Okay. So do you have another one? If you could go and you could present it. Domnic.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you, thank you, Domnic Windram, and thank you. And just had some trouble. And yes, up next is what I would. Yes, time to open. Time to hear open mic. So please welcome Dane Ince.
Hi, thanks everyone. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find my poems here. Okay. Yeah, I have several short pieces, some haiku and stuff like that. I wade through deep times in solemn, solitary wind chime ringing tone. Next piece. Sometimes when you find a way to help others, you find a way to help yourself heal. Yountville. I went to Yountville once, fancy hotels and restaurants. Closely I looked, saw the people who worked, did all the work. They did not roll by in fancy cars. They work hard, dance when winter hills are alive, green, rain-filled, bright to neon, under blue stone, storm gray clouds. They are art, love, heart. Haiku. As it was spoken like long ago, moonlit night, magic comes to pass. Soft. I wear you. The thought of you like joy, soft against my skin, frolic with a nymph, cold, cool blue sky, mid-morning, coffeeed, comfortable bathrobe, nepenthe, the absence of sorrow, Sepentia, wisdom, the potion heals, takes away sorrow, but not the lesson. God whiskey, goddamn whiskey, or good whiskey, or just good knowledge, warm. Next piece. We had a rough day, better than those who did not have any day at all. Now we rest early morning raga sitar, eyelids close on nightmares, carob thistle blinking in the storm, dreams, kisses, psyches, bubble dance, shiver of peacock feathers. This is a so thank you. The way you hold me close, save me from angry error. This is how clouds love and kiss light into puffs of babies fluffy. Tomorrow peeks through the snore. Glory, ray, promise, love will carry on. This anniversary closes and opens on the new My tears are
Dane, we can't hear you. Dane, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how much you. Let me stop there because there's a lot of people in the room. So you heard some of the pieces, I believe. All right. Thank you.
But you could finish it up, then you could finish it up. Go ahead.
We had a rough day, better than those who did not have any at all. Now we went rest early morning raga sitar, eyelids closed on nightmares. Carob thistle blinking in the storm, dream kiss, psyche bubble dance, shiver of peacock feathers. This is a satin silk thank you. The way you hold me close, save me from angry error. This is how clouds love and kiss life into puffs and baby fluffy. Tomorrow peeks through the snore, glory ray, promise love will carry on. The anniversary closes and opens on the new. My tears are for the horror of others. The breath of holiness, zephyr, forever wings the bond of life. I see you everywhere. You are alive in my eyes. Weep if you need to. I walk beside you on the street. I love you most with open heart, hand upon touching hand, reaching within its grasp. There is never more dust than there was dust before. Before there was dust, there was always dust, always. In this unending chapter, turn the page. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Dan,
Thank you,
as
sir.
always. I like the way you read. Thank you, Dan. Please keep coming, and please, my dear friends, you could join his open mic every Tuesday. That happens, as per US timing, late in the evening, maybe in 7 p.m. US timing. So you could join him, and please welcome Til Kumari Sharma from Nepal. She wanted to put the country names on the side, but yes, Til Kumari.
Okay, thank you for me to give chance to recite my poem. And I am happy to see all the poets from the world here from the different countries and their expression about the life, war, or nature, everything. So, okay, now I am going to recite the poem. This poem is published in Mount Kenya Times in Africa, Kenya. The title of the poem is Flowers in a Garden. Okay, the different colors of flowers make me amazing. I'm looking to garden. Butterflies are dancing. I'm alone in garden to view nature that gives me joy. The beauty in inner art of nature attracts my mind. Roaming in the garden to hide in flowers. I'm singing the words of deception. I am singing the song of lust love. The flowers are dancing in a storm as me. The storm is my strong creation that comes from my womb of mind. My sunshine is in a grave, but there is a garden of flowers too. Grave is undead art in which a small home is established. My art of eternality makes my grave bright. Really, I am amazing in the art of words. Really, I am amazing in the art of words. Okay, may I recite another one?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, this poem is My Dream House. That is posted in Destiny Inc. Publishers in Africa, Kenya, in that group. Okay, I have got first or second, third position in here. Okay, My Dream House. The huge and infinite aim to fly in another universe. My wish to bring humanity in essence, the heaven-like community in the world, because artist community, yeah, to bring peaceful harmony in earth, the brighter light to everybody, the morality to enter in every heart, the wishing to dance in secured place where love and respect dance in corner of the human heart. My dream house to make a statue of art, eternal in universe of my eye, which is never old and rotten. The life of hidden beauty appears. My head of dream will lead the universe. My head of dream will lead the universe that is kind enough with humanity. That is kind enough with humanity. No discrimination will be there. No hierarchy will be there. My dream of universe is in existential sublimity, living and brighter than this one, living and brighter than this one. Okay, thank you very much, Prasannaji.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wow, wonder, very nice poems. Til Kumari ji, thanks for coming. And yes, so I mean, excited about presenting. Yeah, but yes, thank you. Next up, Jackie Chow.
Okay, right now I cannot see everybody, but can you see me and hear me okay?
Yes, perfect.
All right,
Yeah,
okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read two poems. The first one is called Searching for the Sun. They're new poems. Okay, Searching for the Sun. The morning is here, but the sun never came out. I've searched my room for it, on top of the dresser, inside the closet, the drawers full of clothes, but it is nowhere to be found. It seems like somebody has stolen the sun from me, and now my world is overcast, clouded by troubles. I look for light, and all I can do is switch on the fluorescent lamp. It only burns temporarily, dimming gradually, before dying completely, like the fleeting smile on my face, mistaking the bulb for the sun. The next poem is called Nightscape. I have awoken to moonlight, spilling through the slats, the patio by my bedroom, bright like a 24-hour pub, peopled by a few night owls with their boom boxes and self-talks. I'm no better than its patrons, hiding in my room day and night from some unnameable evil. It's eating the night away, leaving me with this dry, meatless bone of a pen to record what I see and hear behind a thick glass door. Thank you.
Thank you, Zaki. That was so nice of you for coming and presenting two of your beautiful poems. And you, yes, we have you on our anthology. So that's, please give it up
Okay.
for Jackie Chow, my dear friends.
Okay, great. When
Thank
will
you.
the anthology come out?
It is coming up. And yeah, you
Okay,
would be,
great.
we would, you know, we are sick.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just have
Okay.
announced the title of the.
Prasannaji, there is another one about the Nepal-India relationship. Is that also anthology?
Ji, that is from other group. So you could just.
Okay. I'll write, and if any anthology is there, post there, and I'll write.
Yeah, thank you. Please welcome, now that we have finished our, this please welcome our first timer on our platform, Narendar Jit Gaur. Ma'am, please, grab the mic and, the deck is yours. So please kindly introduce yourself to the group out here. So thank you, ma'am. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. I am Narendar Jit Kaur from Patiala, Punjab. And it's the first time that I have come here and I have enjoyed this session. Very nice poems. And I would like to just recite one poem because this is my first time. So my poem is Words. Words, the multi-hued entities. This is the title of the poem. There are words that surround you like butterflies with their multi-hued wings. Words that you touch with your fingertip multiply their beauty, love, and happiness, and pass them on to others. There are words that swarm around you like the locusts, words that people throw at you to hit you where it hurts the most. Some of these you dodge so nearly. Others you take by the horns. Some others lose their heat as they reach you and fall at your feet like dead birds. Some you can't stop from doing the damage, but there are some you take with open arms, allowing them to hit you, to bleed you, mind, body, and soul. Come on, let them on. Thank you so much.
That's what they say, words are precious. And, ma'am, that is something so beautiful you said, very in a poetic form. But let us know something more about you. If you could just, put in the chat box, your social network handle so that the others, if you wanted to be followed, they could just follow you or, just, but.
Actually, I'm on Facebook. People can follow me there. And I write poetry. I'm not a regular poet. I write middle articles in the newspapers, in Hindustan Times and Tribune. And I write stories. And I am a translator. I have translated 5 books from Punjabi into English. And my storybook is about to come out. So this is all that is about me. I've retired associate professor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, that was some beauty. I mean, we are really grateful to you, ma'am, for for joining this, and really honored to be having you. And congratulations on your new book. And it's such a
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So moving on, we have Somdatta, Isaac, and Millie, and some Gangalaxmi ma'am. So before calling upon, let us call upon Prabha Shastri Joshila.
Namaste to everybody. Today I am reading one Telugu poem. Poem name నా శీర్షిక పేరు ప్రేమ జల్లులు. నీ నవ్వంటే ఇష్టం, నీ నవ్వంటే ఇష్టం, నువ్వంటే మరీ ఇష్టం, నువ్వంటే మరీ ఇష్టం, ఇలలో నువ్వే దేవతవి. ముత్యాలు పోగేసిన చిరుచిరు నవ్వులు, ముత్యాలు పోగేసిన చిరుచిరు నవ్వులు, నవ్వు వెన్నెల సోయగాలు, నీ నవ్వు వెన్నెల సోయగాలు. అరవిరిసిన మల్లి మొగ్గలు, అరవిరిసిన మల్లి మొగ్గలు, నా బ్రతకంతా నీతోనే, నా బ్రతకంతా నీతోనే. పూల పడవలా సాగాలి మన జీవితం, పూల పడగలా సాగాలి మన జీవితం. ఎర్రని సింధూర వెలుగులో, ఎర్రని సింధూర వెలుగులో నేను తారకనైపోవాలి, నేను తారకనైపోవాలి. సంపెంగల నీ నాసిక చిలక ముక్కుల మెరవాలి, ఆ సుగంధ లీలలలో ఎద ఎద గాలిలో తేలి మురియాలి. అన్నింటికన్నా అన్నింటికన్నా 1 minute. అన్నింటికన్నా మిన్న ఆ చల్లని జాబిలి ఒడిలో వాలాలి, ఆ వెచ్చని ఉయ్యాల ఊసులలో ఊగి తేలాలి. ఆ వెచ్చని ఉయ్యాల ఊసులలో ఊగి తేలాలి. ఈ నా కోరికలు నిజమవ్వాలి. ఈ నా కోరికలు నిజమవ్వాలి. చేయి చేయి కలిపి ప్రబలవ్వాలి. చిరుజల్లుల చినుకులలో ఒళ్ళు మరిచి జలధరించాలి. నీ నా మది పులకరించాలి. నీ నా మది పులకరించాలి. పట్టపగలు లేక పరవశించాలి. మసక పక్కపక్క నవ్వులు విరియాలి. ఇలా ఇలా నిన్ను పొగుడుతూ నేను ఎన్నెన్నో ప్రేమ కావ్యాలు చిత్రించి రచించి కవిగా మారాలి. చిత్రించి రచించి కవిగా మారాలి. చీకు చింత మరవాలి. చీకు చింత మరవాలి. రంగు రంగుల పువ్వుల నువ్వు తుమ్మిద రాగాల సిరివై మారాలి. ఈ నా ప్రేమ రోమియో జూలియెట్ల యుగల గీతం పాడాలి. కలకాలం కలతలు లేక కనువిందులు చేయాలి. కలకాలం కలతలు లేక కనువిందు చేయాలి. ప్రేమంటే ఇదేనా? ప్రేమంటే ఇదేనా అనేలా యువతకి మనం దారి చూపాలి. నేర్చి నిరజాణలై కదలాలి. మన కథ మృదు మధుర సంగీత లహరులు అవ్వాలి. మన కథ మృదు మధుర సంగీత లహరులు అవ్వాలి. నమస్తే. ప్రసన్న, నాకు ఈ అవకాశం ఇచ్చినందుకు ధన్యవాదాలు.
What a beautiful expression, what a engrossing performance. Wow, give it up for Prabha Shastri Joshila, who recited in Telugu. That was so beautifully expressed. I mean, so beautiful. I mean, beautiful. It is so good. Nothing much to say, but yes.
Thank you.
Up next, thank you, Ma. Thank you. Sridharan Parakode. Yes.
Am I audible, Prasanna ji?
Ji, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Prasanna ji, and Better Brains, and this wonderful opportunity offered. Okay, as usual, I can say few words in Malayalam. നല്ല നല്ല വലകൾ നെയ്തിടുവാൻ നല്ല മാർഗം പറഞ്ഞു തന്നിടുമോ ഭാരമേറെ ചുമക്കുവാൻ വയ്യെന്ന നേരെ ചൊല്ലുന്നു കണ്ണികളൊക്കെയും കൗശലങ്ങൾ പുറത്തു കാണിക്കാതെ വാശിയോടെ വലകൾ നെയ്തിടുമ്പോൾ വീണുപോകാതിരിക്കാൻ ഉപായങ്ങൾ വേണമെന്നും മറക്കാതിരിക്കണം. Then my poem, omnipresent. Wherever I go, there is someone like me. Wherever I go, there is someone like me in smile, in cry, and even cheating. It is nobody other than me. Then everlasting beauty. Witnessing the sunset, the paint seller said to himself. Witnessing the sunset, the paint seller said to himself, can I be provided with some colors? Then a breeze smiled and passed by. Thank you.
That was so brilliant about you. That is what, I always say, short and sweet, and you bring in your, what do you call, a flavor of, soft flavor of the soil, as always. I love it. Sridhara sir, thank you for coming. Yes, Ike wants to say something. Ike, do you want to listen your second poem? Yeah, you read only one, but yes, if you wanted to go ahead with second poem, you could go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. However, what I'm reading is a real American poem. In America, obsessed with guns. Son of a gun, or when the second, meaning the Second Amendment, shoots the First Amendment into the foot. I admit, I came to America to make money, build a house, sit in it, open the window, and look like anybody else at the sea, birds, and bees. Yes, I let my cat respond to the knock on the door. Knock, knock, who is there? And my cat says, meow. Only to realize the profound American love for legalized corruption, often mistaken for freedom, as so patriotically proclaimed. And then I was lucky to listen to Mahalia Jackson singing the traditional American spiritual. He's got the whole world in his hands. Not only being captivated by the simplicity of its magic words, or being fascinated by her innate musicality, but being deeply touched by the genuine tears escaping her eyes. It's tears in my eyes. Once I became an American. So let me repeat. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got my brothers and my sisters in his hands. He's got all mothers and fathers in his hands. And then he's got a mean gun in his hand. He's got a mean gun in his hand. He's got a gun in his hand. He's had a bad day and reached around. He's shot a brother in the head. He shot his big brother in the head. He shot a sister in the back. He shot his sweet little sister in the back. He shot a mother in her bed. He shot them all. Cold blood. He's got an angry gun on his mind. He's got an angry gun in his ears. He's got an angry gun up his nose. He's got an angry gun in his mouth. He's got a target in his mean eyes. He's got a target in his cold sight. And then, let's not forget the mean gunner, a misguided MAGA son, a mean gunner, a disgruntled kid, a man. A mean gunner has access to any, whatever one, misguided by legalized corruption and whatever motive under the sun, misguided by an outdated Second Amendment only constitutional lawyers comprehend, misguided by a perverse interpretation of freedom, misguided by misguided shareholders. As long as killing machines earn a profit, we don't care. Misguided by a misguided system that promotes the right to kill my world. Yes, now he's got a gun in his hand. He's had a mean gun till his end. And then he had the whole world in one hand. The same hand that pulled the trigger till his end. The same hand that dropped that blooded gun. What an end. And all the silver bullets in his defense do not help, do not understand. He's got no flowers on his grave. He's got no tears that forgave. And all that automatic gun did not make him that exceptional, free American man. Yes, he's had a violent gun, one of the best. And I have a painful lump in my chest. And then he's had the whole world in his hands. He's had my whole world in his hands. Thank you.
Might at again a very thought-provoking point from you. But you haven't introduced to the audience out here, I mean, the poets out here. Please say something about you and let us know how you could find out and where else you, I mean, where, what are the books that you have written and anything you could say something about yourself.
Well, I will put it in the chat, all the information. How about that?
You could say whatever.
And I'm a featured reader at Reach Arts on 7th of July. Reach Arts at Swampscott in Massachusetts. So let me put some information in the chat. Okay?
Yeah. I often find you on Cobalt Poets and Garage Poets. You're not there, but yes, you can join Dane. Okay. Anyways, let us go to Somdatta Mitra.
Good evening and good morning to all present here. Many thanks to Prasanna sir for giving this opportunity, which rejuvenates me so very much that I feel I am amidst a family where I find the spirit to really give myself a good enhancement through poetry and expression. Today, I have brought two very emotional poems, which is enveloped with love, humility, and a concern. If any line or any particular word really gives you a kind of, pessimism, then I just, beseech my forgiveness right away here. So I will start with my first poem, the title of which is Unique Bond. This is written in memory of my late mother, whom I miss every now and then in my life. As a destined anatomy where mother-daughter unite together in an unique bond to traverse and treasure, a mother is a gifted spirit to change life with much affection and concern. Upon her breast, she fondled and cared into a silence that suppressed all her desires. Her ultimate concern to protect her child raises innumerable smiles and chortles. In a jaunty camaraderie, she often extends her help and supports her daughter in all her endeavors to succeed. A daughter shed tears when her mother is unwell. How to cope up with that situation? She often yells. To get over the calamity, she endeavors to earn for her well-being. She leaves no stone unturned to bring smile on her mother's face in an integrity. To enjoy the moments in her mother's arms, the daughter always craves for the gentle care and concern. Flowers touch the feet of her mother with a soft and tenderness. She embraces her with desires that she chose to entertain. Her birthday is always a special moment to cherish, as her mother cooks kheer as an auspicious delicacy. To celebrate the occasion in a fervor, when both of them sits together in a discussion, the surroundings seem to be alarmed as if all hear their conversation at large. In a verbal debate, both indulge in several arguments to relate. Their tantrums cannot be expressed in a logical reasoning to debate. Both are emotional at each other's leverage. Both are in an agility in each other's expectations. Love is the most worshipped goal they both exchange without measure. Their dependence are certainly unique, which is indeed a precious pleasure. Coming to the next poem, I have given the title Who I Am. This is to express my personality as a whole, as a poet or as a woman. Like a phoenix, I rose up from the flames of depravity and deprivation, crushed each time by several adversities, and to stand against the evil conflagration. Life taught me several lessons when I was suppressed by the evil dictators. Writing consoled me, and painting comforted and raised my confidence. As a strong personality, I learned to forbear the hindrances and the obstacles. No one could deter me to follow the path of righteousness. Temptations didn't demotivate me to find success through honest means. In the mirror, I could view myself. Mirror, mirror, who am I in the midst of so many turmoils? The mirror replied, you are strong and you are divine. You seem to enchant and enthrall everyone. You interact in a vivacious chime. Mirror, mirror, what is my strength in the pool of wisdom? You generate power with your pen. You generate power with your humor and love. You seem to be the worshipper of beauty through brains. One who embraces you would dive into your purity in abundance. I was engulfed with an euphoria at large. I could identify my true persona after a short while. I am the speed and the meaning of love. I am significant comfort from the esteemed affection that people crave in a forlorn. I can be the assuagement and strong support to one who needs me. I can be the storm who helps in a chase to hit the land in a cessation. Within me, all may find a burning volcano who needs to erupt after forbearing the tormentations of the societal oppressions. As anvil of peace, I am the dove who in her tranquil deference attempts to persuade others for a friendly tie. As a friend, I am the desire who wants to fly high. As a fragrance, I am the perfume who motivates those who are humiliated or mourn someone's death. To the children, I sing like a nightingale. To the old, I ring the bell like a temple. I am the aspiration and the divine spirit to raise those who are affected in an ignominy, to be their strength and primary comfort, to stabilize their strength and search for their confidence. I can explode with emotions through my pen. I can help one who needs a friend. I am the fire through which the rebellious minds enthuse power. I am the noble heart who inspires others to uplift their divine spirit, to change the world into a center of peace lovers' paradise. That might is just in our pious minds. That pen and hidden love cannot segregate humanity to survive and unite. I am a teacher who teaches the moral instincts to transit into a world of friendship and love the abandoned and raise their spirits. Thank you, everyone, for giving me this opportunity and hearing me patiently. Thank you.
Wow, wow, yes, you are the fire, undoubtedly. Power. Brilliant, you are in the poems that you presented, as always, as always.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's a
Really,
pleasure.
So beautiful. And let us move on to our next poet. Our next poet is Gangalaxmi Patnaik.
Welcome. Good evening to everyone. I am here to express my heartfelt best wishes to Prasanna ji, who has invited me to recite poem on this open platform of fertile brains. Now I would like to recite a poem. The title of the poem is I Want You in Summer. Title is I Want You in Summer. The poem is based on love of the teenage sweethearts enjoying summer vacation. This is their teenage love and friendship. Purely a love poem. The poem goes on like this. The steps that I take me nowhere, land me nowhere in particular. The steps that I take me nowhere, land me nowhere in particular. But while trudging on green grass, I inhale scent of summer visited everywhere. But while trudging on green grass, I inhale scent of summer visited everywhere. Strong and content, I stretched eyes, feel unstymied love clamor in summer. Strong and content, I stretched eyes, feel unstymied love clamor in summer. Birds moisten air with flutter, chitter chatter, warmth compels them with clamor. Birds moisten air with flutter, chitter chatter, warmth compels them with clamor. Warden's blue-eyed daughter run with moribund lover to somewhere very near. Warden's blue-eyed daughter run with moribund lover to somewhere very near, where I hear laughter of romantic pair. What am I to do here? Where I hear laughter of romantic pair, what am I to do here? I believe any wrong can happen in this changed farmhouse, changed corridor. I believe any wrong can happen in this changed farmhouse, changed corridor. I do not get the answer. Daughter looking emptily at me, catching no fear. I do not get the answer. Daughter looking emptily at me, catching no fear. This is the end of my recitation. My second recitation is another one. Book printed nowhere. Book printed nowhere. I congratulate to all my friends, poet Pauls, who born in the month of June, because June is an auspicious month for the people who get their birth. So I'm now composing this poem, Book Printed Nowhere. I read a book printed nowhere. Every page brings the scent of the man who gets birth in June. I read a book printed nowhere. Every page brings the scent of the man who gets birth in June. Every word is dear. In every word, I know what is hunger that multiplies birthday man to live longer. Every word is dear. In every word, I know what is hunger that multiplies birthday man to live longer. Man born in June, a social butterfly, very charismatic, talented, inquisitive, sarcastic, humorous, known for his giving and forgiving nature. Man born in June, a social butterfly, very charismatic, talented, inquisitive, sarcastic, humorous, known for his giving and forgiving nature. Reading this book, I become humble, purifies my bones, trains up my tongue to sing in praise of this Shignar. Reading this book, I become humble, purifies my bones, trains up my tongue to sing in praise of Shignar. So congratulations to all the birthmen who get their birth in June. Now time has come to me for wind up the recitation. Thanks founder admin Prasanna ji and poet friends. Thank you.
Beautiful, ma'am. Really, that was efficient. You want to say something? I mean, you're waving your hand.
Tell me, sir. Tell me.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, man. Thank you,
Your birth month is June. Is your birth month is June?
No. No, I was just, you're saying all features of June, no? So that is why I taken down. So Sylvia, would you like to read? Would you like to go ahead?
Yes, I like to read because it's my bedtime. It's my bedtime soon. Okay, I read one is called The tongue has no bone. Hold on to your tongue. Think before you speak. The optimistic view you at your best. The pessimistic will pull you down the rain. Be watchful before you speak. Reach out, reserve your command. It will save you from falling from grace. No matter what happens, stay calm, chin up, walk tall. Be on the sidewalk. Watch the drama unfold. You will see the true color. Smile and bring the sunshine to others. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your patience. Yes, you always come with, beautiful poems, very profound ones. We have Milidas. Yes, please welcome Milidas. Milidas, please unmute your mic, ma'am. Okay, Isaac Cohen. Isaac.
Well,
Isaac,
yes,
unmute your mic.
yes. Thank you, Kumar, and thank you, all my friends in the world. Isaac Cohen. This with the enemy pleasant that
Isaac, we can't hear you. Can you fix this signal up? And,
let's reform.
I'm afraid we can't go with you, Isaac. We need to move.
Speaking and
Please welcome Manjula Mahanti. Sorry, Isaac, you could just, fix that signal up.
Thank you so much, Prasanna.
Thank you, ma'am. Please.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I joined a bit late because I was busy in some other work. So I became late. So sorry. But I was listening poems side by side. So should I read out something? Okay. So I'm going to read out two small poems. And this is from my book, Sparklers. So this is, first poem is Solitude. Solitude. Time is time-bound. Time is time-bound, runs clockwise as designed. Runs clockwise as designed. Youth of life is gorgeous. Youth of life is gorgeous, full of beautiful relations, opportunities, fun, frolic, family, festivities. Never ever think of the dusk. Fall of the day may not be so romantic. Shadows of past, only companion. Perhaps only mode of rejuvenation. Halt. If positivity traveled with you, solitude becomes a bliss too. Introspection, great quality. Introspection, great quality as friend. Impulses, creativity, skillfully governed. Life is life. Life is life till breath. Loneliness leads to another path, where self-valuation opportunities waits. Where loneliness leads to another path, where self-valuation opportunities waits to promote your untouched tastes. Enjoy and utilize being alone. Entertain inspiration, forget bygone. Maybe dusk, but you are not done yet. Maybe dusk, but you are not yet done. Thank you, this one. And if you allow another one.
Please, ma'am, go ahead.
Be a human. The poem is Be a Human. The moment intercede in the world. Cradle of love and care. The moment intercede in the world. Cradle of love and care welcomes you. The countdown activates two at the same moment. You are unaware how constant it is. You enjoy several opportunities, but your most precious collection may be love, kindness, compassion. At any place, any age, with anyone, for anyone, or everyone. You need it for yourself. Others expect too. Whatever you need for yourself, others expect too. A true human keeps a large heart. Extend the same to everyone. Extend the same to everyone. Your kind, loving behavior, marked as your introduction. Make it grand, applaudable, adorable. Thank you so much.
That is what we all needed. So that is so well said, ma'am. And yes, introspection is a beautiful quality. You always try to introspect ourselves. Yes, and that was something so beautifully you said. Put it in a poetic form. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you as always.
Thank you
Please
so much. Thank you so much.
Please do come and keep inspiring us with your words. And that was too beautiful of your poems. Be human.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on across to our lively poet who has been down, but then she's speaking up. Yes, please welcome Saraswati Poswal.
Hello, good morning, good evening, namaskar, sat sri akal, adab to everyone. Thank you so much, Eike Waltz, first of all, for enduring me, enhancing me, and giving this platform opportunity to me to recite my poems and to develop myself, to go back to my old track, Thank you for your support. I'm I'm very much humble, Thank you very much. So today I'm going to recite two poems of mine. The title of my first poem is Spring. Spring has sprung. Spring has sprung with alluring me, with the true eloquence of crunchy breeze, slipping in the teeming soil, with a water sprinkle, little shards, fragrance filled the soil, with the more raising, the enduring thirst. The vapor increases up, and the yellow magenta sharing the glory and heralding the new blossom to bloom, laden down by the redolence and blemishing, dabbling down the seedling and enhancing the breeze with the essence and more environs, waking up every morning and showering us till evening and night. Thank you so much. This was my one poem on spring. The another one is in the Hindi. The title of my Hindi poem is आँखें. आंखों में हसीन ख्वाब नजर आते हैं, आंखों में हसीन ख्वाब नजर आते हैं, कुछ छुपे कुछ गहरे जज्बात नजर आते हैं. आंखों में कुछ हसीन ख्वाब नजर आते हैं, कुछ छुपे कुछ गहरे जज्बात नजर आते हैं. कुछ विश्वास कुछ आघात खाए हुए जज्बात नजर आते हैं. कुछ विश्वास कुछ आघात खाए हुए जज्बात नजर आते हैं. छुपाना चाहे कोई लाख, छुपाना चाहे कोई लाख, दर्द वो मुश्किल लम्हात अब भी नजर आते हैं. कमसिन सी आंखों में, कमसिन सी आंखों में गहरे हालात मेरे अब भी नजर आते हैं. मासूमियत के छलकते जाम, मासूमियत के छलकते जाम नजर आते हैं. भुलाने की चाह में, भुलाने की चाह में हालात अब भी नजर आते हैं. भुलाने की चाह में हालात मुझे अब भी नजर आते हैं. तुम्हें हमें तुम्हारी आंखों में दोनों जहान तुम्हारे जाने के बाद अब भी नजर आते हैं, अब भी नजर आते हैं, अब भी नजर आते हैं. उम्मीद है आपको मेरी दोनों कविताएं बहुत पसंद आई होंगी.
बहुत 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 पसंद आए मैम, बहुत पसंद आए. एंड यस, ब्यूटीफुल ब्यूटीफul second one. I think oh beautiful.
Thank you so
Wow.
much, everyone. Thank you,
Yeah,
Prasanna ji.
you're picking
Just
up.
because
I
of
could see
you,
that.
just because of you, I'm trying to come back on my track. You know, I'm getting motivated day by day.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
will certainly be
Thank you,
motivated.
everyone.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for
Thank you.
listening.
Let us
I
move
was not
across.
in my town. I was
Thank
not
you.
in my town. I was out of station, but I tried to join you people. Thank you once
Actually,
again.
Prasanna, you are a great inspiration.
Yes, he is. He is.
Inspiration, Prasanna. Really. I
Thank
always
you.
wish to come to this platform and perform something or the other because of your inspiration. And of course, my co-friends, I'm getting the first time to meet all of you, but really enjoying being with you all. Love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Prasanna ji. Thank you. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Midas, ma'am, would you like to read? You could just unmute your mic. We're trying to unmute your mic, please. If you are. Midas, ma'am. Okay, Isaac, go ahead. Isaac, please turn on your mic. Still, Isaac is finding difficult to move to Domnic Windram. Domnic, we can't hear. I can't able to
Hi,
hear you.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Thanks for letting me come on again to read my second poem. These problems with Zoom, it's really getting me down. This poem is called Postmodern Blues, and it's essentially about the myriad discontents created by unregulated capitalism. So, Postmodern Blues. No clear light of truth, only murky recordings of fragmented speech. AI's psychic distortions crucify the real. These disembodied voices gather like cold spectres and haunt the ruined graveyard of false consciousness. Junk culture fills the void of missing moral centres. Everything human is now dissolving. Or break these dark mirrors that surround us, that remind us of our acquiescence to systems of power. What we call freedom only exists in glossy third-rate magazines, as present fashions cannibalize from the past. Unorthodox ways of life have been co-opted. Revolution is a Che Guevara t-shirt. These texts are always caked in crass advertising. So many channels, glowing on so many screens, yet the messages are essentially the same. More and more info to absorb, but less meaning. Buy now, pay later in pseudo-democracies. Thank you.
That Was powerful. Domnic, that was powerful. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And yeah, please do
Sorry
come
about
on.
the
No, that's okay. That we can
Yeah.
understand, that happens, signal issue and all. Isaac is also facing. But yes, please welcome our lovey-dovey Unmesh Mohitkar.
You want me to read, Prasanna?
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Prasanna. Thank you very much. So this is something which I wrote, I think, yesterday or day before yesterday. This is something related to summer. So a lot of our European friends or US friends says that summer is very romantic, but it is not the same in people who are living in central India. So this is about the summer in central India. So basically I am from central India, but now I'm residing in the western India. But okay, this is our summer in central India. The sun is red hot, fiery, flaming, flaring, unforgiving. It's morning 9 a.m. Furnace is blowing 42 degrees Celsius. It will reach 48 degrees in the afternoon. Every inch of earth is scalded, body pining for cooling. Lu is a strong, gusty, hot and dry wind. It has already started. It works overtime, no respite, like a Sirocco desert wind from the Sahara desert. I just try to stay in the shade. I hear about the romance of summer from my friends in other continents. Our summer is just red hot sun. This is the marriage season because farmers have free time in the summer. So time for big marriage parties. Sun can't stop the union of body and soul. The desert cooler is blowing like a madman to be jailed forever. People here always prefer coolers to air conditioners. They say air conditioners cannot work here. I see people walking on the street, braving the noon sun in traditional dress and three-piece suit. The groom is sitting on the horse, wearing a three-piece suit. He is wearing a headgear as well. This is the actual pressure cooker situation for him. He is sweating profusely as if he is sitting in a pressure cooker. The drums are beating, people are dancing, someone sprays perfume in the air, it evaporates even before touching anyone. The marriage party moves ahead. Once again, the road is empty. I am sitting in my veranda, waiting for the cool breeze to caress me for one more time. Thank you.
That is paradoxal. What happens in India? So beautifully put, so witty. I mean, that is something wow.
Yeah, because central India, northern India, right? So summer is marriage time and it's really very hot.
It's such a paradox. Why should they wear all those things, That's rightly put. Beautiful. That is Unmesh Mohitkar for you, my dear friends. You can join him every Fridays, 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. You could, and 11 a.m. US time. So that's an experience. Please join. Okay. Militas, ma'am, are you ready to? Yeah, Isaac, go ahead.
Isaac Cohen, the peaceful. Let's refrain from speaking to silence the eyes, voices of war. Maybe the quiet will win and we can listen to the newly outmut flutter peace. And the second, Isaac Cohen. I bred the peace. I bred the peace with us, the people, the animals, the flowers. How marvelous is the pleasantness that wrap our creation. Thank you, Adikon, Israel. And maybe peace will come soon.
Peace will always come. Yes, that was
Yes,
lovely. And,
yes.
smiling poet from Israel. I thank you for your wedding prayers. Please give it up. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let's go on to Maria. Maria's greeting. Wow, well, Maria, and on your mind.
Me? It's my turn? Okay. Hi, everybody. Nice to be with you once more. Thanks for the invite and the opportunity, Prasanna, you always give us, and meeting a lot of people around the world. Thank you very much. Well, my poem is a short one, and it is about a serious problem that we see every day in our lives. It's about social condition. Hope you enjoy. The title of my poem is Two Sides. In a street that does not know misery, many stories entice the scenery. It's a treasure of golden greediness, sex fashion to eyes and belly. Clothing does not make a living, but it cannot help to find a right place to any man. Imagine what a hungry belly does. Wish to gain crumbs of bread. For those who have parents, a delicate monk who carries his son by her hands, teaching him how to become a true man, bestowing him some favors at moment of greediness. Tidbits, ties, walks along the shore, listening to the sound of waves. These boys have a fortunate home, with care and much love. Abandoned children for the sake of poverty, from the beginning learn how to know the sad face of destiny. Yeah, they have eyes to explore street scenery, and a belly that most of times is snoring by hunger. Tips for them are welcome, not a resolution though. Can we blame man for societal difference? Is man lazy to defend himself against poverty? What we sow we harvest, even around a cottage. If there is plenty of soil, why there is misery? This was the first one. Can I recite another one? Okay. Tomorrow, here in Brazil, is Valentine's Day. We celebrate Valentine's Day in Brazil tomorrow. So I would like to read a poem about Valentine's Day. Hope you enjoy. This is my home, a place where I found shelter. The same feeling that you cannot dismiss. It is our humble castle of love, built by us. The oranges come from use. We were on high school, close friends, thereby a version of care brought a story. I don't exactly remember the beginning, but happy am I, there is a time here. Imagine happen to make youngsters discover the two-in-one meat. A future belongs to our hearts, the repetition of true part engagement, Spring sweet flowers, aromas in the breeze along the years to come. You are mine as I am yours. On Valentine's Day and ever, take care of me so that we be never alone. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.
Thank
Me.
you, Maria. That was Maria from Fatal
Always
Boy.
grateful. Always grateful.
Happy Valentine's Day to you. And yes, Militas is left and Kalipada Ghosh is. Sir Kalipada. Please unmute your mic, sir. Kalipada Ghosh. Please turn on your mic, sir. Please go ahead.
It is not possible for me because it is power cut even now, and I am engulfed in darkness, and not to read my poem.
Kaliprasad, poets are always in darkness. We are the light.
I am in darkness. I am in darkness. I am engulfed in darkness. I am enveloped in darkness, and so it is not possible for me to read. But I would like to recite my poem, Suchitsmita's Labhar. Suchitsmita's Labhar. Here, you are aware of the fact that Robert Browning has written the Porphyria's Labhar. The great poem, Porphyria's Labhar. It is a tragic poem, though at the outset it is a love poem, but at the end of the poem, it is darkened with a tragic experience, and the beloved is crucified or strangled to death. And my poem, Suchismita's Labhar. The day declined, the sun sank in the west, the last hues of the sunset mingled into the western horizon. The twilight enveloping with darkness, suddenly a heavy shower with thunder and lightning, the night descending with black gown, perhaps the darkest night of the year, the forebodings of ominous signs, the hoot of an owl, the howling of jackals, the sounds of the crickets made the night eerie. Suchismita, eagerly waiting for her lover, loitering in the corridor, restless, heart-wrenching, a sudden knocking at the door, looking through the window panes, the stillness of the room, the lizard on the snow-white wall. She opened the main door. O'Neill came in with some smile, wet and through with rain. Seated on a cushioned chair with deep sigh, no light but the flashing of lightning, enveloping darkness all around, hugged and kissed with amorous intrigues, innocent and divine love. Alas, Suchismita wrapped him and hugged and embraced. He drew out a blue scarf, an awesome tragedy awaiting, wrapped tightly on the throat and strangled her to death. The tearful eyes stared at him with an aroma of last kiss on her lip. Suchismita, gone to the other world with divine love in her bosom, lying dead on the red carpet, shedding tears forever and forever. This is a tragic poem. My heart-wrenching poem it is, and so to say, I sympathize with Suchismita's love and her celestial love and aroma of love, the fragrance of love. Love will never die, will never wither away.
Yes, sir. Love will never die. Thank you. Thanks for coming. And yes, that was a retired professor and teacher, research teacher from West Bengal who authored quite a good number of poetry books. Please give it up for Kalipada Ghosh.
My second poem.
You want? Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
That a girl of beauty, a girl of beauty, a girl of beauty, perhaps 16, talented, topper, rhythmic life, dancing and singing, recital and dramatizing with robust optimism, dazzling eyes with ecstatic beauty, disheveled curly hair, a paragon of beauty indeed, perhaps like Helen and Cleopatra. A youth to live her heart and soul, only she smiles and smiles, but irony of fate, the rhythmic life of passion, love and emotions, turning a turmoil and clutter, a tumultuous queen, and crooked and calm, false with fever, under the clutches of meningitis. Good heavens, a light has thus been extinguished, and no God can again. Sit in heaven, sit in heaven, hold and pray for us, immortal soul, in the abode of peace. Thanks to my personal brother, my Indian brother, my thanks to all.
So, this network is gone. Please welcome Millie Das, who is always busy. Yes.
Today I am also on the road, and just I am standing beside the road. And good evening to all of my friends. And now I am going through my poetry. When you reading me, tears roll down on my cheeks. When you reading me, my heart races to understand what is happening with me. Who am I? What to do? Why am I doing this? The history that lives in my blood. I cry every day and night. Don't know why am I crying, why I'm lamenting. My heart gets stabbed over and over and bleeds again and again. Still, when it's bleeding, it's loving. It's life for eternity. It's my heart holding the key. The key is my brain. The key is my pain.
Excellent.
There is so much noise.
As always, the meeting, yes, I could understand. But yes, that was so beautiful.
I'm with you from the very beginning, but I'm not opening my video.
Okay.
I'm hearing all of my poets, dear poets, every poetry, and I'm not commenting here, but I'm hearing.
Right. Let's move on to our next poet. Next poet is a retired banker. Please welcome Shyamaprasad Patnaik.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible, Prasanna sir?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I am Shyamaprasad Patnaik from Odisha, a retired banker. The first poem is of the title, The Invisible Choreographer. The Invisible Choreographer. We dance to cosmic tunes choreographed by God, the mightiest invisible musician. Man is a pre-designed and animated robot, obeying commands of supreme designer. Life is a continuous process of dance attuned to myriad musical tunes. Drizzling raindrops falling on earth produce musical effects in our brains. In life's romantic spring season, lovers twist to orchestra of whispering reeds. As lovers, we twist and twill in unison, forgetting rest of world. phase of youth is most vibrant and colorful regime of our life. While spreading charm, strive to take fellow spectators to dance with us. We can create our own niche of rich literary and cultural heritage. Before departing, let us unveil poetic emotions through scripts in pursuit of excellence. And that is the end of my first poem. Prasanna sir, shall I go with my second poem? The second poem, recently National Friendship Day was celebrated. So on that occasion, I have written this poem. The title of my poem is Friend Indeed. A true friend succor his friend, come rain or sunshine. In his friend's miseries, he feels hurt, go out to. He sheds tears incessantly, as if the tragedy struck himself. Real friend celebrates his friend's joys as his own delight. Friendship is the most precious gift of Almighty to humanity. When friend is in mental agonies, true friend remains sleepless. Friendly affection is always reflected in the deeds of friend. Abysmal love of true friendship is immeasurable beyond any description. And that is the end of my second poem. Thank you, Prasanna sir, for inviting me to present my poem. And thanks the entire team of Fertile Brain. Thank you for listening and watching.
That was excellent, sir. That was excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have left with one poet, but she is amazing. I'm gonna read her poem, but before I think I could take the permission from a poet, but yes, I will try to, give a read it in my style. But yes, संघर्ष संघर्ष बहुत है जीवन में, हर और बड़ी स्पर्धा है। ये मेरा है वो तेरा है, नित यही झमेला चलता है। असली चेहरे पर नकली चेहरा, हर रोज तमाशा होता है। हर मंदिर में भीड़ बहुत है, हर और बहुत श्रद्धालु है। इतनी श्रद्धा होने पर भी मंदिर के बाहर भूखा बच्चा रोता है। नित न्याय धर्म की बातें होती, पर न्याय कहाँ पर होता है। अपनी माया की झोली लेकर सब घात लगाए बैठे हैं। तुम मौका दो वो ठग लेंगे, तुम प्रेम करो वो छल लेंगे। जो गले लगाया डस लेंगे, चलो कहीं अब दूर चले इन नकली चेहरों से दूर चले। चलो कहीं अब दूर चले इस आडंबर से दूर चले। संघर्ष बहुत है जीवन में, हर और बड़ी स्पर्धा है। ये मेरा है वो तेरा है, नीत है यही झमेला चलता है। वाह, क्या लेकिन है ये, I just write.
Thank you. Thank you,
Reema Rai Singh. So it is something similar to my style. I try to write in this. That is something. It reminds me of my poem.
प्रसन्ना बहुत ही सुंदर रचना. Very nice.
ये श्रेय तो उनको जाता है जो लिखा है। तो
रीमा जी की रचना, रीमा जी बहुत
मंदिर के आसपास बहुत भीड़ है या क्राउडेड।
बहुत अच्छा।
रीमा राय मैम, go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Prasanna ji, and namaskar everyone present here. My name is Reema Rai Singh. I'm a poet from India, Mumbai, Maharashtra, and today I will be reciting my poem in Hindi. Sangharsh. Can I? Sangharsh.
If you could continue the other one, short one.
Yeah, struggle. Thank you, Prasanna ji, for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. संघर्ष बहुत है जीवन में, संघर्ष बहुत है जीवन में, हर ओर बड़ी स्पर्धा है। ये तेरा है वो मेरा है, नित यही झमेला चलता है। ये तेरा है वो मेरा है, नित यही झमेला चलता है। असली चेहरों पर नकली चेहरे, असली चेहरों पर नकली चेहरे, हर रोज तमाशा होता है। हर मंदिर में भीड़ बहुत है, हर मंदिर में भीड़ बहुत है, हर ओर बहुत श्रद्धालु हैं। हर मंदिर में भीड़ बहुत है, हर ओर बहुत श्रद्धालु हैं। इतनी श्रद्धा होने पर भी मंदिर के बाहर भूखा बच्चा रोता है। नित न्याय धर्म की बातें होती, पर न्याय कहाँ पर होता है। नित न्याय धर्म की बातें होती, पर न्याय कहाँ पर होता है। अपनी माया की झोली लेकर सब घात लगाए बैठे हैं। तुम मौका दो वो ठग लेंगे, तुम प्रेम करो वो छल लेंगे। तुम मौका दो वो ठग लेंगे, तुम प्रेम करो वो छल लेंगे। जो गले लगाया डस लेंगे। चलो कहीं अब दूर चले, चलो कहीं अब दूर चले, चलो कहीं अब दूर चले, इस आडंबर से दूर चले। संघर्ष बहुत है जीवन में, हर ओर बड़ी स्पर्धा है। ये तेरा है वो मेरा है, यही झमेला चलता है। थैंक यू सो मच प्रसन्ना जी। एक चंद पंक्तियों के साथ मैं अपनी कविता समाप्त करना चाहूंगी। खामोशी। जहां तक नजरें जाती हैं एक खामोशी सी छाई है। जहां तक नजरें जाती हैं एक खामोशी सी छाई है। क्या अकेली रह गई हूं मैं, या ये शहर ही वीरान है। क्या अकेली रह गई हूं मैं, या ये शहर ही वीरान है। The bustling crowd once alive, the bustling crowd once alive, now mere echoes of the past. A solitude that now thrives, a city abandoned, a contrast. Thank you so much, Prasanna ji.
Wow, that was brilliant, superb, yeah. And thanks for giving me the opportunity of reading your poem. Unmesh sir, आपके लिए. I went and then go along. I went along the breeze and the changing times. I went along the floating waters and flickering flares of sparks. I went along the present, reminiscing the past. I went along and along with passing days and nights. Knighted by bracing an armor to face the galloping winds, the absent tides of moments. I go along and along to catch the breaths by being a raunchy brute. I go along to catch the moods of mundane mist. I walk along the path that gives the pleasures of fleeting senses. I went, and I would go. I went and would go, would take a walk on every chance that comes forth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was I went and go along. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you for making
Amazing,
it
Prasanna, it was an amazing poem, man. Loved it. Thanks for sharing. Wow.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming. And thank you, Reema Rai Singh ji, for, giving the opportunity of, reading. But yes, we have another poem joining and she just enjoy and we'll leave out. So, maybe.
Thank you, Prasanna ji, once again for giving me such a wonderful opportunity.
And you should join for this Unmesh Mohitkar ji's platform too on Friday 9 p.m. Renukuntla Murli is joining, but yes, couldn't.
Prasanna, if you allow me, can I make an announcement? If you allow me.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I've got an open mic. Let's Unmesh Life. It's a wordplay on my name. And it's Friday, 9 p.m. India time. 9 p.m. India time. So please do join. If you can register here in this link so that you will get an email. In case you are part of my Facebook group, then there on also you can get the Zoom link. I'm just putting the link over here. Yeah, I'm very sure you will enjoy it. And thanks, Prasanna. Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it.
You would certainly be enjoying, when you join. So please join. And yes, welcome, Ben Renukuntla Murli sir. So please turn on your mic and video. Video is on. Renukuntla Murli. Sir, please turn on your mic. Please unmute your mic, sir. Renukuntla Murali.
You can send that unmute request, Prasanna.
Yes, I'm doing that, but he's not. Renukuntla Murali, sir, please turn on your mic, otherwise you need to get your. Renukuntla Murali. That is what. Please turn on your mic, sir. I'm just trying to, give this from my side, but it's not happening. But anyways. Okay, thank you for joining, and thank you. We'll meet on next week, same time, same platform. So please, thank you all. Thank you for joining.